Hi, my name is Jordan Elgezabal, and my informative speech is going to be about the business of branding. Have you ever stopped to think about why there is such a thing as brand loyalty? I mean, there are copious amounts of brands out there, so what separates the good from the great? In this new information era, the basic concepts of marketing have been revolutionized to fit the new demands of consumers. We are now in full throttle of the permission era of marketing, in which consumers have a choice in what marketing they want to consume. Forbes said that consumers no longer want to be sold to. They hear advice from people that they want to already trust. With this, the new premise of branding was born. Branding used to be non-existent, but today it is defined as a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's good or service as distinct from those of other sellers. So, what can branding do for my business or company? The reality is that branding in association with marketing can make or break a company, because branding has the ability to differentiate your brand, your product from others, because judging by comparing doesn't really work anymore. Now it's all about symbolic attributes. I've seen that before. I've heard of that before. My friend uses that. We tend to base our buying on trust now. So if someone walks into a store, the consumer's more likely to pick something off the shelf that they've heard of before or seen before than something that they haven't. We want to connect. We want to become irreplaceable, and we want to create bonds. This branding will actually make your business or product more established. It'll give it better stability in terms of sales. And it will seem like you have higher standards than other people. Now, lack of branding can really hurt you. You can really see the decline of sales based upon the lack of a brand. A good example of this would be Apple back in the day. In the early 90s, whenever Apple was first launched, its brand or lack thereof was clunky, old, outdated, and too consumed with competition. Whenever Steve Jobs came in the late 90s, he erased everything and said, we're going to pick one thing and focus on it, and that's going to be our company. It turns out he picked lifestyle. He wants Apple to be a lifestyle. He wanted people to come into the store and feel like they couldn't leave without it. And he was completely successful in that rebrand. So without that rebrand, what would have happened? The company was declining, the sales were plummeting, and it probably would have dissolved within a couple of years. Now it's going to be a $1 trillion company. So that's an example of something that didn't have a brand, but was changed for the better because they created one. Now, then there's also times when brands are the sole reason for the creation of a company. A good example of this is Michael Jordan. He played basketball. He's known as the greatest basketball player of all time. And he took his legacy and turned it into a complete business plan. More than 50 million kids have been born since Michael Jordan won his 6th championship and played basketball. But his business has never been better. His ability to sustain and stay relevant in the sports world is impeccable. The brand of Michael Jordan's share of the United States basketball shoe market is 71%. That's staggering. And it's all because his brand evokes a feeling that makes you want his product. The greatest basketball player of all time made this shoe. I think I should buy this shoe. So we've seen how branding can affect companies like Apple and Michael Jordan, but how can it affect you? How can you take things that Michael Jordan and Apple did, as well as many other companies, and help you better your own personal brand? Your personal brand is basically picking something about yourself that is marketable and really honing in on it. Make it the focus of you. Make it the focus of what people think when they think of you. It's all about word association. So if I'm going to open a fruit shop, I want to pick something that I want my consumers to relate with my business. Fresh. Fruit shop, they think of fresh. You have a brand. Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time, you have a brand. Apple, minimalist style, you have a brand. It's all about identifying your own brand, and once you do that, it's all about capitalizing on it. Find what makes you unique and use it to your advantage. Because the one thing that all branding successes have in common is the ability to individualize. It's all about standing out from the crowd in the marketing and branding world. Individualizing yourself is the epitome of success. Embrace the unique. Be yourself. Know what you want the universe to know about you and send it out. The branding will do the rest. Thank you.